Greetings everyone, I'm Mark, the Sly Giraffe, and welcome to my electric vehicles channel. I started this channel a while back making some videos after I got my one wheel in 2019. I want to give some updates on what I've been up to lately. At the start of this year in 2021, I learned how to ride EUCs, or electric unicycles. The videos you'll see here on this channel are made possible by a selfie stick that I just strapped onto my EUC with an ancient hand-me-down 360 camera from my sister, and then some video editing straight from my smartphone using the InShot app, which is actually a pretty good app. A lot of great features. I'm just using my phone too to record my voice, so no fancy microphones here. So I'm not much of a content creator here on YouTube, as there are a ton of other electric vehicle related channels, higher quality content, and they update more frequently. But I wanted to post up some footage of my experiences here as a way to kind of give back to the PEV community. I hope at the very least it will inspire others to ride and give them some context and insight on some of my riding experiences and thoughts. In today's video, I wanted to tell you a little bit about my new wheel, the Nikola AR 100V from AlienRides.com, and the first long ride I had with it. This is a special variant model collaboration between Bugatti and AlienRides that gives a little update to Bugatti's tried and true Nikola model. It has some pretty cool new updates, such as a new circle of LEDs that says AlienRides on the side, an updated rear light, and the modern Bugatti black motherboard found in newer Bugatti wheels. But the biggest difference between this model and past Nikola models is the added battery pack, raising the battery size from the previous 1800 watt-hour capacity to a 2700 watt-hour capacity, which is a battery size on par with the Bugatti EXN and the largest capacity battery for a 16-inch diameter wheel. This results in a great package wheel with long range and a smaller agile tire for beginners like me, but a lower price point than the top-tier priced larger wheels. The footage you see here is on one of my favorite places to ride, the Iron Horse Trail, which is a paved bike trail located on the east side of the San Francisco Bay Area in California. This trail spans nearly 30 miles from end to end, crossing several cities, and links to other kind of paved trails along the way. Some stretches of this trail can be busy, but in some areas it's pretty empty, making for a pretty chill and scenic ride. Before I got the Nikola AR, my main ride was the Tesla V2, which I loved as my first main wheel. But while I love the zip and light carry weight of that Tesla, I can only get a range of about 24 to maybe 30 miles on it, based on kind of the speeds I rode at and my riding weight of roughly 240 pounds. I usually ride at average speeds from 15 to 25 miles per hour. So it's great for around the city commuting, but it's not so great if you want a long adventure of exploration. I always had to look out for when I hit that 10 to 12 mile mark, because that usually meant I had to turn back to wherever I parked, or I'd have to be trolley my way back, which would have been a disaster. Luckily I haven't had to do that yet. This Nikola though, this ride right here, ended up being a 63 mile ride, more than double the length of my previous longest ride of about 31 miles. I was able to not only visit other far off cities, but I also had enough battery to explore all the side trails in that city, go into different neighborhoods, and make it back to my car with battery to spare. This journey ended up being about a 6 hour total. It tired me out, but it had me smiling. This wheel's it. I mean, it's just enough wheel for me to go out, adventure, but I don't have to end up learning how to ride like a heavier, larger wheel like the Sherman or the Monster Pro. I often use the ReLive app to map my rides out. I go south here, try to check out landmarks. This farm building is one of my favorite landmarks down there. Go into some farmlands. I always come across some goats on my rides, so I try to snap up some pictures of my goats. Then, just kind of explore around. Check if I find a cool view of a mountain, I try to take a picture of that, or signs. Saw some alpacas out here, some animals. So a lot of vineyards out here, a lot of farmlands. Come across this way here, and there's actually a rock quarry, so I took a little picture of the mountains of rock. Headed out into some of the historical districts, so here's a little car museum, and if I see a cool statue, try to take a selfie of the statues. And then I made it back to kind of where I parked, and decided just to keep going north. And so if I go up this way, it's kind of a long stretch. Actually, didn't take that many pictures, I was just enjoying the ride so much. But I did see this cat. I had to take this picture of this cat. It kind of looks like our cat back home, an all black cat. And then I stopped at the Dunkin' Donuts, which is one of my favorite stops when going up north on this trail. Then I just kind of headed back. And again, I didn't want to go too far and run out of battery, but by then it was getting pretty long. Yeah, I made it back to the car, 63 miles, and then if you look at this kind of summary at the end, 63 miles, almost 6 hours, pretty good ride overall. I read a lot of thoughts of the Nikola on forums, Facebook groups, and watched videos about the Nikola being prone to wobbles, so I want to talk a little bit about the learning curve. Between the Tesla and the Nikola, there's about a 20-pound difference, and my legs had to adjust to the heavier weight. Speed wobbles for beginning riders like myself can be a pretty scary experience. On one of my very first rides with the Nikola, I saw in my rearview mirror that attached to my helmet someone coming up on an e-scooter behind me. The road ahead was pretty clear, so I wanted to put the speed of the Nikola to the test. So I leaned forward, looking to just go as fast as I can, straight line, just to get some distance between me and the scooter behind me. But once I hit around that 25-mile-an-hour mark, I think I hit some uneven terrain, and out came the wobbles. And I've never encountered any wobbles on my Tesla before, so my first instinct was just to ease up on the speed. Which surprised me a bit, because once I started doing that, the wobble started getting way more intense, and I was starting to panic. I didn't want to crash this wheel, just days after getting it. So I made up my mind. I was like, you know what? I'm not going to crash this wheel, but these wobbles are freaking me out. I'm just going to hard brake, slow down as much as I can, just plant my foot as a pivot and just try to spin, maybe slow down, just avoid a crash as much as I can. Now, luckily for me, this plan worked, and my ankle didn't snap when I slammed my foot down. I was going slow enough. I was able to kind of handle it. The guy on the e-scooter went past, but at that point, I didn't care. I was just happy I got out of that wobble without just totally eating it on the pavement and destroying my wheel. For the rest of the ride, I thought about the kind of adjustments I needed to do in order to correct my wobbles if they ever come back. I practiced my carving technique at slow speeds, and then I gradually sped up until it became something I did just automatically. And when I started getting to the speeds for wobbles, like that 25+ mile-an-hour mark, I'd feel the wobbles start up, but it immediately also went away once I just started accelerating into a carve. And that right there is probably the key. When you feel wobbles come up, don't slow down, don't ease up. That'll probably make it intense. The wobbles just probably just build those wobbles up. At least take care of the wobbles first. Accelerate into the carve, feel the wobble go away. If the wheel feels nice and steady, then you can ease up on the speed. I haven't encountered any wobbles since then, but whenever they, intense wobbles like I did that first time, but if they do come up, I just kind of accelerate into the curve, let the wobbles go away, and then I slow down on my own. So that's kind of the advice I give to people, beginners like myself who encounter wobbles. Just practice that carving. If you feel the wobbles, get rid of the wobbles first, and then you can slow down and catch your breath, and then ride again. One other fun fact about my particular Nikola AR is that it's the first one out in the public, or at least that's what they told me when I first picked it up. Pretty sure a lot of these wheels are out being ridden right now. AlienRides' workshop, PEV Works in San Francisco, they contacted me once it came in and asked me if I wanted the wheel shipped or if I wanted to stop by and pick it up. I actually had a migraine that morning, had me in pain pretty much the entire day. When they told me the wheel would come in, I figured it was a silver lining to the day, to my migraine. It was my reward for enduring that major headache. So I asked my wife to drive me out there, and I was able to bring it home that day. But the reason I was able to buy this wheel so early actually goes a little further back. On the electric unicycle forums, I was researching a long-range wheel and had been considering wheels like the veteran Sherman, the Gotway EX and EXN, but also other wheels like the RS19 and the Kingsong 18XL. Each wheel had a lot of pros, but also at least one major con that really held me back from buying any one of them. Then I found about the Nikola Plus modded wheel being sold on the Lumos store on AliExpress that boasted that 2700 watt-hour battery. Mike from YouTube channel Is There Any Food gave me a quick rundown of the wheel characteristics, and I watched a lot of his videos that featured this large battery Nikola, the Thikola, or the Big Nick. That was it. I was sold. This is the wheel I wanted. I went so far as to go, download the AliExpress app, go to Lumos store, go through all those hoops, buy one. Even though the site said the wheel wouldn't ship to me until August, I didn't care. This is the wheel I wanted. I was sold. However, after after purchasing the wheel, they contacted me on the app and said, "Hey, you know what? There's no longer in stock. How would you like a Monster V3 2700 watt battery instead?" I said, "No, Monster V3 is not the wheel I was looking for. That's a larger wheel." My heart was sold on getting that big Nikola. It was Nikola or bust for me at that point. With that, I went back to the drawing board, or so I thought. Quite literally the day after I got my refund from Lumo, AlienRides announces the Nikola Plus AR variant with that 2700 watt battery. Bam! I took that money, my refund, immediately went to that pre-order. I actually met Kevin from AlienRides before I even knew he had the AlienRides YouTube channel. And that was on my part. AlienRides channel's been out for a while, but I myself wasn't into electric vehicles at that time. I just had an old kind of commuter e-scooter, my Zoom Strider EX, that had been busted, and I was just looking for a shop nearby who could service it, because I didn't know how to open it up. And then kind of met him, and he fixed my scooter up, and I was super happy about that because I used that scooter on my daily work commute, going on the train and then taking that scooter to the company building. And then later I got into EUCs, and then I asked, hey, could you change my tire out for this 2.5 inch wide tire on my Tesla 2 that I got from EUC Chronicles, his recommendation. So at that point, I knew they had that technical expertise to work on different vehicles, EUCs, scooters, and one wheels, and I know they work on a wide variety of things. And then they have that 2-year warranty for the AlienRides purchase. On that 2-year warranty with a group of guys I know, they know their stuff. Honestly, if I didn't have them nearby, I probably wouldn't be as into PEVs, because if I had to service all these things on my own, it'd be really tough. I'd be like, no, this is too much hassle. So it's really great to have that reliable shop nearby, and I'm super happy they're now selling wheels and kind of getting their name out there, because it's totally worth it. I hope they do a great job out there. So that's it. That's my story about getting this new Nikola Plus AR. The 63-mile ride had me going through vineyards, farmlands, farmhouses, some of the dry grasslands of California. We're in a drought right now, so it's pretty dry. Past cows, horses, alpacas, major local retail outlet stores that are out there. Had to fight the wind, but again, because the Nikola is a tried and true model, because it had such a large battery, I was feeling pretty good riding this wheel. I'm looking for more long summer rides in the future, this year and in years to come. One of my goals is to have at least 100-mile ride this summer. So 100 miles, a century ride. Should probably require like a mealtime charge in the middle of it. Since this took about 63 miles, I think if I did about halfway, charge it up for about an hour or two, and then do another half, I'll clear 100 miles easy. I'm also looking to make up more videos too, to kind of chronicle my journey here. I'm just getting some of my thoughts I've had on EUCs, just to contribute to the community, let people know some of my thoughts. I like to write, so you'll see me on forums probably a lot as it's slide draft. Again, I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I hope to get another video out soon. I take a lot of footage of my rides now, so I'll have at least some footage to pop up as I'm talking, and so I'll try to get more videos out there. Until then, don't fall, ride tall.